Wise Men, for David Citino, Phil Rothman, and Bob Fox. This narrative boasts wise men. This slice of 3 entered my life adult early. Number 3 runs my luck, my story. Words spoon a makeshift tribute for men who surpassed Earth before any of us were ready. The wise men's legacies defy multiple sclerosis, suicide, cancer. This isn't about the emotion of loss, of a trio windswept in a 7-month span. This isn't about a poem forcing refinement. No words feed full enough. This just is. They were. 1. I first met you, Citino, peripherally. I'd see your presence giant every Columbus reading, though you saw yourself nondescript in any audience. As teacher, I met you intimately. First night class, you crooned Italian, standing on top of an archaic desk in Denny Hall soot. Then, in English, consecrated, "The poet is seer, the poet is seer," pointing the butt end of your cane at each of us, exacting all eyes. You repeated this performance my second June. Enough of you I couldn't get, while you never forgot a poem, each face, authentic friend. In one room you instructed the infant poet and advanced with gloves of burlap, of silk, innately knew which touch best birthed each muse, yet no one ever found more than a neat A- typed on personal epistles returned after presentations. No one is perfect. No writing is ever perfect, you shrieked. Startled yourself, yet you were A+ gentleman, scholar, old-fashioned letter writer, kindness guru, who fathered me through a poor marriage entrance and its swift, slamming shut exit. You launched. Find those hidden realities even when they are too painful to bear. Then saddled my dilatory decade with, you've grown through all the pain you've known this past year. Your writing shows it. Years later, a voice kept calling my name while I was shopping in Steinmart. I didn't look back until persistence forced my turn. It was you, came rushing to catch up with me just to say hello, usher me to a section of clothes that held your wife captive. You reintroduced me as your friend, beautiful and good, and I knew, humbled, I would never not look back again when someone calls, just as everyone was your good friend, capitalized, and everyone lives in your poem, the house of memory. Quote, we live in memory's house. It stands on a proper street in the neighborhood of always was, always will be. 2. To Phil, Papa of this Trinity, your eyes read torpid ones in any huddled room. You, Jewish child, adult Unitarian, were only supposed to care clinically, but you missed that training session. We had too many world heart connections. You carried me through the disease that killed you, taught me proactive forgiveness. You, poet advocate, picnic blanket sitter through poetry in the park, we were supposed to write our teacher-student story. We were supposed to. We were. The day I said I'd call you, I got a call that said you died. Where did you stuff your islets of reason? What made whiskey pickle tongue? What led you up 11 flights? What wound your jump? These questions extract sleep, and my own choices haunt eyelids. I never got your lessons about letting go. Dreams substitute answers like this one. It's 3 a.m. My oldest sister helps me break into your office. I want to steal tokens for hours facing you, facing me. I want my fat file, all of my life notes you authored in each hour with hot tea, limitless time. I want the folded rate your depression quizzes squeezed under the back flap. I want the final count. How many times you asked me if I ever thought about suicide. Your tea sits between glass and stone, untouched in a milk white mug. I grab a rose glass heart with left hand, a square beige stone with right. Its center holds a crude four-leaf clover carving. There is no file, but small blue post-its spatter floor. Their notes illegible, but I hear them speak of me. A sharp breeze of sudden window vacuums them. They become hawks flying, their azure wings umbrella a you that hasn't yet hit ground. I reach down, stiff feathers trap fingers. I wake, knowing the headboard lie. A first floor works your real office, your notes-bellied legal pads, and there were no hearts, no clover, in a space you shared but never owned. But the dream's essence is tangible. You were my two-decade luck, not smooth, but solid as stone and love, indelible love, ephemeral as glass. 3. And finally, triple gift clench the self-named barking fox, guitar bar blues daddy. You heard everything that mattered, your everyone heard matter. My 19 years met you, your destiny news, at Bowling Green's Hannah Hall. You affected Ohio days along the valley. Together we listened to Citino sing his broken symmetry at the James Wright Poetry Festival in Martins Ferry, where you tapped my shoulder, trilled in your tawdry Groucho drawl, "You're doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing being here." Then splashed sassy in your puddle of grin. You skipped stones down the river, grooved to River City Blues and Marietta, kicked the butt of 16 bands, so says Columbus Blues Alliance president. You conducted Penn, sing that sadness, make that poem. Foxy, Ohio Arts Council king, you granted me money, made me judge, made me laugh when I thought I couldn't. We rocked Limestone Avenue, jazz lingered long July in Antioch's Yellow Springs, you never sweat. Morgan House's guest porch sipped your sung sweet day. You ghost there now, strung humming with other wise men apparitions. Worked all summer, all into fall. Believe I'll take my Christmas now in my overalls. But by and by, I'll overcome some sweet day. Palms Monday. No one seems to understand his agenda, not even Keon. Nor can he tell you where he last saw his book, when he last bought a pencil, why he picks trash from the floor, eats it, then washes it down with his last piece of notebook paper. He parades into her class, wants daily to chart his own seat. He is the opening act in English. His box hair cut at the peak, a fan waving red match lips colored CoverGirl vintage wine, ditto t-shirt and jeans that hug the bottom of crimson underwear. Scarlet shoelaces grip, Terra Rosa high-top Keds. Mr. Hart struts all shades, but deodorant's the last thing he remembers to wear. He knows her eyes will shaft him and her big horse lips flap if she doesn't see both hands on top of the desk. She's a crazy woman. She demands that he work. She won't let him touch his stuff. She wants to put out his fire. She's his biggest censor. She reams him each time his hand sneaks into his biggest pocket and under the charm. She hovers over him. A tormenting fly screams, "If the day ever comes when you turn in one assignment, I'll be so shocked. I swear I'll do a cartwheel for you." 2 months later, he marks himself present, and like a faith healer announces, he's got the miracle she wants. These lines from Romeo and Juliet, he chose, quote, "Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hands too much," which manly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palms holy palmers kiss, and illustrated them. In black marker, he wrote Juliet's words and traced his hand over them on red construction paper. Students in 128 chant, "Cartwheel, cartwheel." They always memorize a promise. She shrugs her shoulders. She has pants on. She has no excuse. Spins the first awkward cartwheel since 12 and curtsies for Keon. His gold teeth grin and ruby nose rings sparkle. Their eyes meet. The first time she sees child, he sees teacher.